speedcafe.com reporting here from a hot and sticky Kuala Lumpur for the KL City GP. We've got 5 V8 Supercars running a demonstration at this weekend's inaugural event. We caught up with a couple of the drivers and V8 Supercars CEO James Warburton to talk about what we're going to see this weekend. So Craig, a bit of a unique one this weekend, a 5-car demo here in KL. Is it a holiday for you, or are you here to win a trophy?
We've been here for a couple of days, and it's been a little bit more relaxed than a normal, race weekend. But in saying that, like tomorrow we hit the track, and that's something that's we're now more focused on the circuit and obviously trying to get an understanding of the corners and everything else. So at the moment we've seen bits and pieces of the track. We haven't seen the track as a whole. It's obviously still active in the streets. So for us, it's every day it's been created and the constructions have been underway. So it is developing over each day. But tomorrow morning we get an opportunity to walk the track and have a good look at it. As you drive around, you can actually drive parts of the track, and of course we've been able to do as much as we can. It looks quite interesting at places. It's narrow in other sections, but it's quite wide in others. So it is a very different track to what we're used to. It looks more like a Gold Coast style of track than anything else. But again, we won't know until we actually get a chance to drive around it.
And what do you think the locals are going to make of these cars? There's some grandstands and bits and pieces very close to the racetrack, so it's going to be pretty full on.
Well, I think they might be surprised. I think that what they've seen on TV, and of course, on TV you never get the full and true perspective of what the cars are going to be like, the sound. And I think that they're going to be quite amazed when we're rocking around. Although there is only 5 cars here this year, but there's five's enough to get sort of the buildings rumbling and everything else. So I think they'll be pleasantly surprised.
And V8 Supercars have put some restrictions on the data that teams will take away from this weekend. But as a driver, I guess you'll be putting some things in the memory bank for next year. Oh,
look, there's no doubt that the 5 of us will have some great memories and try and get our head around for next year. But in saying that, like everyone, like Jamie will, he'll I'm sure want to download me when I get back and understand the circuit before we get back next year. It really is. It's something that we've got a great opportunity, firstly to showcase the cars and the V8 Supercars as a whole. Next year, I think the format will change, and I think we'll get more time when we do come back to be able to obviously set the cars up properly. And but at the moment we've got a great opportunity to see the circuit first. Tomorrow I'm the first V8 Supercar to do some hot laps around the track itself. I can't see that being an advantage. Once we all get out there, we'll get our head around it pretty quickly, and it's really going to come down to teams that get on top of the car set up as quick as we can. We know street circuits are very difficult because the crowning, the manholes, the white lines, everything we always talk about going into street circuits. So it's getting our head around all that side of it as well.
Chaz, you've been here in KL a day or so now. Haven't got a chance to really have a good look at the track yet. What have you been up to and what have you seen?
Yeah, we did a couple of media things yesterday. We went to the wet markets, we also went to the local mosque, and then we also went to the Petronas Sky Tower. So that was pretty cool to go see those sites of Malaysia, and it's always a bit of a holiday every time you're in a different country other than Australia.
But once you get on the track, is it going to be serious between these 5 cars?
I think you get roll through practice and qualifying, it's going to be pretty cutthroat. Anytime you get V8 Supercar drivers on a track, we're going to be trying 110%. So we'll get out there trying to, learn the track as a point so we can get some data in our mind for next year. But saying that, we're going to be out there putting on a best show we can for the local people of Malaysia and really get them to fall in love with V8 Supercars. So when we come back next year with 25 cars, then we're more welcome to come back with future years to come.
James, a 5-car demo this year ahead of what will hopefully be a full championship round next year. These street events, we do them very well in Australia, but they're not easy to put on. How confident are you that this will be a success?
Oh, look, I think there's an enormous amount still to be done, but it's certified by the FIA. The basics, of the construction and the safety side and what we see is very, very good. And so I think once the cameras roll, so to speak, and the streets are locked off, it'll be a fantastic event, and the pictures will be extraordinary, quite amazing. But the logistics of this are extraordinary. I mean, this would be akin to taking the heart of any Australian city, shutting it down, and actually creating a street race. So it's a pretty ambitious and audacious plan, and full credit to GT Global, and they're going to pull it off.
Is this important as well for V8 Supercars to showcase to other potential promoters in the area? You've made no secret of the fact that you would like 2 races in Asia, ideally by 2017.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we've been very clear about what we want to do and where we want to be, and I think it's also very important. I mean, our cars are amazing on a street circuit. Formula One tracks, wider tracks, where there's just not the, sort of aggressive nature of, what our teams do and what our drivers do in particular is something that is important that we take the right steps when we showcase V8 Supercar. And I think there's strong interest from other areas, and for us, it's worth taking the chance. It's worth putting all of our eggs in the basket. We've never asked a second question. We've got right behind these guys, and there's been a lot of naysayers out there. And people in Malaysia, even today, a day before the race, still don't quite believe it's going to happen. Which is extraordinary when you look at the construction around the city. So pretty amazing from that perspective.
Stick with speedcafe.com throughout the weekend for full coverage from the KL City GP.